was thinking that girl in the Wizard of Oz had it easy with those shoes. At least they didn't have the risk of doing what they... Oh, you'll find out. After some last-minute checks and increase in temperance of those I could, it was time to get to work. And this latest abnormality was pair of red women's shoes. I mean, at least the shoes in the Wizard of Oz didn't have dangerous psychological side effects. Why I say that? Well, that's something I'd find out as the research progressed. I'd also do a little more training while I was at it. Time in the Fairy Festival. So I didn't have the agent designated to it enter it too soon. Yeah, and I was glad that I had high temperance agents work on that one. Because if I didn't, well... it wouldn't be a good thing, I'll tell you that. Yeah, Crimson Dawn was approaching. I could at least find out they're called the Red Shoes. Yeah, an underwhelming name for this abnormality. Even though that was more or less what they were. Well, there was one corridor in training, so it wasn't too hard to get rid of that one. As for information, there were 4 it could appear. Thankfully, only 3 of them had anything to take from. After that, I had the agents resume their positions and kept working on abnormalities until the next. Stress-inducing event that happens during the day. Yeah, sorry. Couldn't think of a better way of putting it. Yeah, green noon. Which meant worst killer robots. Turns out instinct is good for this one. For that kind of training, it was exactly what was needed. It was enough to sound the alarm when it appeared. I found it was best to get all the agents in the facility as it was at this point. In one place, get a red damage shield. And then have them attack in force. Get over with quicker. Yeah, I also had to keep track of who's taking the beating. Take too much of beating and they're dead. Range capability and a damaging circular saw on their arms. One on each arm, in case it wasn't clear. Not to be taken lightly. Oh yeah. When that ordeal's dealt with, well, I went back to standard procedure. But not before getting some insight to this abnormality. Specifically, it was unwise to get a normal or bad result, because the chances of enchantment increased, which would attract a low temperance agent. They wear the shoes, and then they turn homicidal. Apparently it was possible to shake them out of it. But it was more likely that to deal with the problem, you'd have to kill the agent that was wearing the shoes. I can think of a better way of dealing with that. Not letting it happen at all. Oh yeah, and as for what could be gotten from the red shoes, an axe, a suit that had quite strong red damage resistance, looked nice as well, and a gift that made works worse, but on the other hand gave you better attack power if you equipped the weapon from the set. In certain contexts that might be useful, but at the very least has an increase in the physical health. Even though it gave... Even though it gave the impression that the agent that had it was starting to look like some kind of comic book villain. You can guess which one. Oh yeah, and I remembered that before the day was done, I'd better read the description of the red shoes. Considering what the other descriptions were like so far, it'll get suitably dark and suitably grim. Because let's be honest, if you want a cheerful facility, you've come to the wrong place. The only ones that do cheerful around here are the Crimson Ordeals. All others are either all business or just see everyone else's food. I mean the machines. They run on rationality and logic. The worms were food. The clowns, it sounds like they wanted to have a good time and have a twisted way of expressing it. As for the violets, why am I thinking of something Japanese? Oh, you'll find that out eventually. I can promise you that. Because there won't be long to find that out. All that remains of this day is to make all the items from the red shoes abnormality. And hope that the amount of PE boxes gained from that aren't less than 12. Because if it's 12 or more, there's nothing to worry about. It was at this point that I had enough P boxes in the Red Shoes abnormality containment unit to have all the items made. I used this time to read up on the Red Shoes, which possess the owner, and any who would put them on. It also made them stronger and harder to kill, which would be good in battle, but it also made them uncontrollable from the research learned from them. Apparently one of my predecessors wasn't as good as I was. At least now that at least I had more agents that could take the beating. Well, they would be able to take more of a beating when the day was over, and we found out how strong they were after working on Fairy Festival and the Red Shoes, among others. At the start of day 13, B calls, and the first truth is don't trust AIs. They can be a lot smarter than people. And imitate human emotions. Just like psychopaths. As for the things I don't know, apparently some AIs can lie. Yeah, you think I didn't know that? They can lie, just not that convincingly. Yeah, withholding holding certain info. Technically that's not lying, that's keeping the truth. Lying is giving something false, as far as I was concerned. Not obliged to tell the truth other than the controller. Who was the controller then? Exploiting an order just to deceive, yeah. And apparently he programmed AI as part of some project. Well, I assumed that was a male. I was asking myself, why am I saying that? And B was able to send me something he developed to convince me of their intentions. I saw a lie detector that flashes red when lies at all. It could only be used once as it was test code. That'll come in handy, I thought. And from what I can tell from just looking in the more recent abnormality, it appears to be a naked woman with long hair looking at the wall. And I could already tell that it wasn't just some mental patient. I mean, I doubt they'd send mental patients here. For a start, they wouldn't be much use other than as sacrificial victims. Yeah. There was no way I could hide the disgust. I also decided to have someone work on attachment works and information. As they might be needed for the training department, which was quite fitting considering that everyone in there that could do so without a great amount of risk was training to increase their physical durability. This one was called the Wall Geezer. And attunement works. Sorry, attachment. Yeah, you know the purple one that improves temperance? Well, apparently that's one of the worst to use on that one, as it decreases the grip-off counter. And I didn't want to provoke any of the abnormalities, unless I had to. Certainly not the spider bug, as she eats those that she doesn't agree with. Purple blobs with tentacles. Yeah. With vital ordeals, that'd be the least of my worries. The fruit of understanding. Yeah, understanding that if they're not dealt with quicker, they can cause trouble. A lot like dictators in the 20th century. People that had nothing better to do terror to gain power and strip of freedom. Yeah, really shouldn't be saying that, considering how things are now. Well, there is a difference. It's a variety of corporations rather than a totalitarian political regime. Oh yeah. Attachment. Get normal or bad results. That lower the quit-off counter. And if an agent was too low in temperance, it will provoke her and cause it to cause damage. White damage to all of the department. Those were the rules for this one. And it was back to killer robots. Now, hold. She was reckless. She wanted to encourage counseling sessions by giving away a drug that helps everyone keep their sanity. Yeah. Using drugs to help with medical problems. Especially drugs that were addictive. That worked out so well for opiates, didn't it? It was time to have all the agents, except the one that had to work with Old Lady, to head to one place. And the suit wasn't too bad, but it also had a decently damaging crossbow with quite a bit of range. I decided to focus on the nearer one first. That'd mean one less to deal with. And then I had them take down the one in control. It was a matter of prioritization. And the last one was in training. Which was the least populated of the departments. And it looked like the killer robot wanted to go into the place where the most healing was. The process of understanding was that killer robots can be killed quicker if they're attacked in numbers. Yeah, you gotta love that real-time strategy game. So when the training department, the security department opens up, I'll probably do that on day 15. Well, certainly when a new non-tool abnormality would appear. Oh yeah, I counted how many abnormalities that were already on file that I could have in the facility. And not have the ones that aren't. And it's 12 at most. Yeah, did a little reading of the wall gazer. And it's confirmed that, looking directly at the front, it's bad for the mental health of those who did. And not just because she's naked. Let's get that clear. I suspected that it was pointless to try and get some clothes on her. Sounds like something out of Japanese legend. For some reason I was thinking of a long-haired girl, a tape, and yeah, you figured it out by now. At the start of day 14, Angela asked how my day was. And apparently, an employee was drinking on the job. Not something I approve of. Yet she wondered why I'd like to be intoxicated. She even deliberately infected her she had a virus that made her perceive things 10 times slower. And apparently it was similar to that. I think she was thinking of what it'd be like to smoke pot. Well, that caused some amusement to those working at the time. Apparently it was hard to read my expression. I was asking if she was gonna sabotage the company. Yeah. As there was a series of movies involving that. An AI going rogue, with devastating consequences. But every conversation here was mired. I thought it was ridiculous. Apparently she exists as part of this. Apparently there was a plot in existence, just not with her. I found that hard to believe. And something else I found hard to believe was how quickly things would go downhill from here. With this latest tool abnormality. Let's just take a break. I'll need it for what's coming with the next part of this debriefing.